Story 1. My boyfriend of 16 years broke up with me just before Christmas. I have to learn to be my own person again and never realized how much of a unit I had become. I hope the year 2025 is a lot better. Story 2. Because the person I want to spend it with probably has forgotten I exist. Better to be alone than with someone who doesn't want you. I hope everyone has the 2025 they want. Happy New Year. Story 3. I am 76, widowed for 4 years, and I have no one but my cane corso to spend the evening with. Dinner will be with Marie, a Marie Calendar pot pie. Yes, I am lonely, but I am blessed to have a roof over my head and something to eat. Story 4. Because I am too proud to talk to some of my friends who have their own lives already sorted out and plan activities with their own friends for the new year, and tell them that I am alone. Story 5. I am alone because I've chosen not to initiate and maintain friendships and relationships for 14 years. As for the lonely part, I have a feeling I've been lonely for 32 years despite always being around people. Story 6. My husband died in July. It has been a horrific experience losing him. He was my everything. I simply get through each day going through the motions on autopilot. My only goal is to survive each day. I have lots of mixed emotions about the new year. I am grateful for my family and friends. This cannot be navigated alone. I am starting to have hope now, so that is a gift. I am hoping for better days in 2025. Story 7. Family and friends are 200 miles away since I moved away for work. I keep my work and social life separate, so I don't tend to socialize with colleagues, as none of the ones my age live locally anyway. The girl I've been dating is visiting family in another country, so I'm sitting here drinking cider, watching television. Story 8. My mom, my best friend in the whole world, passed away on Christmas Eve and left me all alone to fight this cursed world by myself. My other friends know the situation, but choose to spend time with their other friends and family. Story 9. It is my birthday and I am home alone with my pets. None of my friends or family were available to come hang out, and I have to stay home with my special needs dog. But I have my pets to keep me company at least. Story 10. I'm alone but not lonely, to be honest. I had to stay at university because of checkups for my health issues, which I'm getting treatment for. Not mad about it, to be honest. I enjoy my own company and will be back socializing in about a week. Story 11. Because of the perception we have that New Year's Eve is supposed to be a big party with a lot of excited people, if you're alone or not partying, it makes you feel left out or lonely. New Year's Eve is a big hype. My last party was over 30 years ago. Story 12. Physically alone because I don't feel like being around people while I'm farting like crazy because of stomach issues. Lonely because I haven't spoken to the person with whom I've wanted to spend time for over a week. Story 13. I can't risk getting COVID-19 or even a cough before a surgery this month, so it's the hermit's life for me. Hanging with my roommate's dog and making bibimbap with steak, though, so it won't be bad. Story 14. I was doing laundry 3 days ago and found a condom in my boyfriend's pocket. Last night, he came home from work 2.5 hours late. I just sat here alone. I wonder how I ended up like this. I'm not sure what to do at this point. I just feel sad and alone. Story 15. Got overly drunk with my friends a few weeks ago and expressed my depression and suicidal thoughts. So they thought it best to uninvite me to the quiz night they were having tonight. That will sure teach me not to be depressed. Story 16. I got dumped in October, ending the only short relationship of my life. It's been a rough few months. I was really excited to finally not be the single relative during the holidays, to get her something for Christmas and kiss her on New Year's. All that. But I'm with my family, and I've done a little better lately talking to some old friends. Can't help but still feel kind of lonely, but I'm better than I was. I hope it will pass once we're through the holidays. Story 17. My ex-wife divorced me 2 months ago, and now she is out with her boyfriend or whatever he is. I'm at home with the kids. I just wish she was home or out with me. I'm broken-hearted. Story 18. Because my family are a bunch of assholes, I ditched my friends for an abusive ex who I finally told to get lost. So now I'm lonely and alone, but that's okay. I will find my people soon. Story 19. My parents and I don't talk much. They've always maintained a distance. I moved so much in my life. I have my friends scattered all over the world. The one friend I have in this city is married and vacationing in Bali as we speak. I date once every 3 years when I truly fall in love. My last boyfriend was last year, so I won't have anyone for the next 2 years at least. The reason for my last 2 breakups was because I had to move away for work, and both of them weren't willing to do a long-term relationship. I had my pride to protect, so I let it go and parted ways with them on good terms. I've only ever been with 2 guys in the last 10 years, so I've had many lonely New Year's and birthdays. Even when I was with them, I was usually alone on those occasions, so a true romantic companion has also eluded me all my life. My cousins live in different cities too. My sibling couldn't care less if I lived or died. The one person I do cherish the most in this world and would have visited is my grandfather. But unfortunately, he passed away in August of this year. So that door's closed forever now. I have a lot of people in my life, but no one for celebrations. So here I am, alone in my apartment on New Year's Eve. I've been alone on all my last 3 birthdays and New Year's. It's nothing new for me, and I'm guessing this is what the rest of my life is going to be like. However, it doesn't feel like I'm missing anything. Although, how would I know if I'm missing anything or not? I haven't experienced what it means to celebrate with someone or a group of people in so long. It's hard to remember what it felt like. Those days are gone. What you don't know can't hurt you, I guess. Something like that. Story 20. My wife hit me in the face during our annual Christmas Day argument. I can't look at her the same way. I'm sitting downstairs drinking heavily, and she's gone to bed. Story 21. Because I am not desperate enough to settle for someone I am not into, and I am too afraid to tell the person I am interested in how much I care for her. Story 22. I'm in my early 60s and retired 7 years ago. I lost the 4 closest people to me from COVID. I became a widower young and have no relationship with younger members of the family who have moved far away. My social circle was mostly made up of work friends, and after I retired, it was literally out of sight, out of mind. I feel so lost and disconnected from the society I find myself in. Everything from food, music, and books is completely alien to me. I don't even have a morning newspaper to read anymore. Story 23. Not lonely. Wife goes to work at hospital at 4:30. I am really sad over her mom's failing health. I think the world of my mother-in-law. So more sad than lonely. Story 24. I decided to come to El Salvador on a solo trip. I do not feel safe by myself out there. I want to go back to Los Angeles, California so bad. Leaving in 2 days. El Salvador was not what I thought. Story 25. I don't want to be with my family, and none of my friends reached out to hang out. I didn't feel like forcing a meeting, but I'm kind of bummed about my friends. Story 26. Recovering alcoholic. Just got invited to a sweat lodge party last minute. Declined it because I'm not comfortable around strangers. Plus, small-town police officers and drunk drivers are everywhere. Story 27. I live hours away from my family. We don't really celebrate New Year's, even when we're together. My boyfriend also lives in another country. It will be the new year in his time zone in a few minutes, and I'm hoping to get a message or call from him when he's done spending time with his family. Story 28. No friends, no family, just me on my own. But I am lonely all year round, well apart from when I have to go to the hospital for checkups and injections. I at least get to talk to someone. I forgot what it feels like to have a partner or a friend to talk with. But I am better on my own as I don't mix with people. The last New Year's Eve party I went to, I spent most of the night sitting in their greenhouse and away from everyone. I had 2 beers, but I felt out of place, so I started drinking coffee and cappuccino. Most of the people at the party were very drunk. At least I walked home on my own and sober. Story 29. It's a good question. I don't feel terribly lonely, but I've been by myself for ages, and a holiday is just another day. Sometimes I think about how weird it is that there was a time in my life when I thought I had too many friends to keep up with. People drop out of one's life as one gets older. Now, except for one friend and one family member with whom I have phone relationships, I'm pretty isolated. Story 30. I don't have many friends, being a painfully shy introvert who spends most days as a homebody. My hobbies don't make this easy to break, unfortunately. I wasn't able to keep in touch with friends from when I was younger, and making new friends as an adult is a challenge. I'm much better at general social interaction nowadays compared to my younger self, but the whole introducing myself and putting myself in situations for that is still a mountain I've yet to climb. The closest friend I have is a work buddy, and unfortunately, we're too much alike in the social anxiety department. Story 31. Because besides my children who are awesome, I have no family at all, and my friends only get in touch when they need something. They have their lives sorted, and I'm a distant afterthought. Sucks, but I have peace, no chaos, and can have a nice reflective evening. With every lesson comes a blessing, you just have to take a minute and count them. Story 32. I have never understood the big deal about New Year's Eve. It does absolutely nothing for me. I always spend it at home with my dogs, as one of them is incredibly scared of fireworks, and personal fireworks are legal where I live, so it's like a war zone right outside the window. Story 33. I have been married for over 20 years, and New Year's Eve was our first date. We recreate it every year by wearing the same clothes and taking a picture. On the day after Thanksgiving, my wife blindsided me with the demand for a divorce. She and our son will be celebrating New Year's Eve without me. We moved to a new town in March, and I know nobody else within 50 miles. I am spending the night alone in a hotel less than 5 miles from my family. This is my first New Year's Eve alone in 23 years. Story 34. My last uncle just died. In my family, uncles are very important. They are the people who teach you how to laugh, make the best of the worst, and find joy in sorrow. They are your best friends and confidants. They take Funkle to a new level by surpassing life lessons and rooting deep within you self-worth and love. I had two my grandmother's siblings, and I guess I still have my father's brother. His toxic wife doesn't like him staying around our family. I hope they get a divorce. This isn't healthy, but he never talks to us. He had a thing for black olives. When I was little, we used to play fight over the last olive on New Year's Eve. He made everything fun. He even went out of his way to make our yearly poker game interesting. Now it's just my immediate family and my grandmother celebrating. I miss him so much. Story 35. There is a really interesting discussion between Simon Sinek and Trevor Noah on the value of friendship. It really is something that we should spend more time on. Story 36. Last night, our daughter was placed on a mental health hold. My husband's father has been in and out of the hospital. We had a fight yesterday about how I do not feel appreciated or a priority. He decided to make last-minute plans for a bonfire in the backyard with his friends and my son based on advice from a coworker. He needs to blow off steam, but at least my attendance wasn't needed and I don't need to cook. So, I will be patiently waiting to call my baby while she's in the hospital. Only allows 2 hours a day for phone time. I also hate the sound of fireworks as well, alone. Story 37. I am unable to open up to people either because I perceive myself as worthless or because of gender dysphoria, and I am unsure which way the causation goes between the two. Story 38. I'm in a nursing home as a not old person with a hip that has been broken for 2 months. I did a lot of drugs and fell over. I have been an addict for a while, and friends are sick of me. No family and no one to talk to. In a lot of pain. Story 39. Well, it's New Year's Day for me now, but I wasn't feeling well enough mentally to go out partying and drinking. I just stayed at home with the dog watching stuff on YouTube. Story 40. My ex took my kids 500 kilometers away, and I'm still struggling to accept that I don't get to be a father anymore. Meanwhile, I have a fever, so I can't even muster the strength to go out. Story 41. I felt ill with a headache following the flu last week, so I took a nap and woke up just before midnight. I watched the fireworks on television and Jules Holland. Lonely, but used to it. I actually prefer it most of the time because I get to do what I want when I want. Story 42. I woke up last month with ringing in my head and was diagnosed with tinnitus from my temporomandibular joint disorder. Since then, my depression has taken over. I can't sleep anymore, and I just miss being myself. Story 43. Broke up with 2 people this year and had a lot of hookups. Crushed on a coworker who I am pretty sure does not feel the same, so I gave up on actively looking for a partner for the year. Do not really fit in my family, and I am 6 hours away from my best friend. Whoopee. Story 44. My wife's out at a party that's too loud for me. She's probably getting drunk. I'm totally taking advantage of that when she gets home. New Year's Eve lonely, New Year's Day kinky. Story 45. Being around a person who is too busy getting distracted by whatever numbs them from the reality of being alive is sad. It's unfortunate to give up like that while pretending that such behavior is normal. Story 46. I am single, I do not have any family, and I have to work tonight after midnight. The only friend who is coming over is the one who is the least enjoyable, and the other 2 better friends are busy doing other things. Story 47. I organized a small party, and half the people, who were all my closest friends, bailed a couple of hours before it started. I canceled the party because that really deflated me, and the remaining 4 was a weird mix, and it would have been quite awkward. I'm wondering if I shouldn't have canceled it, but I really do think it would have felt like going through the motions, and my heart just wasn't in it anymore. Story 48. I'm actually at a New Year's Eve party right now, but I literally have nothing in common with these people and nothing to say to them. I am here because I feel like I have to be to maintain friends, but I would rather be alone.